As you guys do not know, since I never speak about the gear that I use to edit videos or pictures, I use the late 2013 iMac 21.5 inches. I know, that is an old computer, but it's been the computer that has been helping me for all these years, for 7 years. I bought this computer when it came out, and I still been using it, and I've been beating it up a lot. And I know that this computer has helped me a lot, but at the same time, it's time to move on because the computer is very, very slow. Every time that I use Premiere Pro, I cannot use 4K footage, so I record in 1080p. So then if I use 4K, I gotta create proxies, and that takes forever. And then when I add a couple of effects, the bar line on Premiere Pro turns red, and it takes forever to render and export. I have had videos that had taken me 2 days to export, so that is kind of crazy. So I think it was time for an upgrade, especially after getting the Canon R6, which truly I wanted for that 4K footage. So let me talk to you a little bit about the iMac that I have. Is the 21.5 late 2013. The processor is a 2.9 gigahertz Intel Core i5. It only has 8 gigabytes of memory, and it uses for graphics the NVIDIA GeForce GT 750M, 1 gigabyte. And let me tell you, that is ridiculous. Everything that I have been able to, do with this computer, but as you know, this is not, the time to be using this type of computer while I'm gonna be using the R6. So I spoke with my wife, and she told me, if you're gonna use a new camera that your computer's not gonna be able to handle, you might as well buy the new computer. So I invested in the new iMac 2020 27-inch, and let me show you the setup that I chose and why I chose that setup. And now when you're in the Apple website, you see you have the options of the 21.5-inch and the 27-inch, and after doing my research for everything that I need, the 27-inch is gonna be the one for me, especially for the price. And the 27-inch comes in 3 different price ranges, the basic, and then you can do some upgrades. And the first one, as you can see right here, it has a 3.1 gigahertz. It's already faster than my iMac. 6-core 10th generation Intel Core i5 processor, a turbo boost up to 4.5 gigahertz, 8 gigabytes of memory, and 256 gigabytes of SSD storage. I know my computer has 1 tera, but it's not SSD, it's very slow. And for the graphics, it had the Radeon Pro 5300 with 4 gigabytes of GDDR6 memory. So this, it has way more than what I have, 4 times of what I have in graphics. Also, it has the Retina 5K display, 5120 by 2880 P3 display with True Tone, and it's an optional nano texture glass available. If you move to the second option, well, that first option is for $16.99. If you move to the second option, which is for $18.99, you still have the same processor, you still have the same memory, but the SSD goes to 512 gigabytes of storage. And that is basically the only difference between the $16.99 model and the $18.99 model. But if you go to the $2,099 model, which it has 3.8 gigahertz of 8-core 10th generation Intel Core i7 processor. It has a turbo boost of 5.0 gigahertz. That's already an improve to the other 2 models. It still has 8 gigabytes of memory, and it has 512 gigabytes of SSD storage, the same as the middle model, but the graphics goes to from the Radeon 5300 to the Radeon Pro 55 XT with 8 gigabytes of GDDR6 memory. So this starting to look way better. So that was gonna click here, and I'm gonna show you the upgrades that you can use for this computer and what I chose for my personal computer. As you can see, you can have the standard glass or the nano texture glass for an extra $450, and this is good for a lot of people who are using, for pictures and they're close to a window, but my setup is not close to a window, so I kept the standard glass. You can upgrade the processor from the 3.8 gigahertz 8-core 10th generation Intel Core i7 processor to a 3.6 10-core 10th generation Intel Core i9 processor for $360 extra, but the turbo boost for both is 5.0 gigahertz, so I left mine to that basic one. And the memory, it has the 8 gigabytes of memory. If you want to move up to 16 gigabytes, it's gonna cost you $180 extra. 32 gigabytes, $540, 64, $900, and 128 gigabytes, $2,340. So what I did is I kept it at 8 gigabytes. And one thing that is amazing about this new 27-inch iMac is that you can upgrade the RAM yourself. And I went to Amazon and I bought a 32 gigabytes Samsung RAM memory for laptops computers, which it was $129.49. That saved me a little over $400, because if I would have bought it from Apple, it would have been $540. So I kept this at 8 gigabytes of memory. Then the graphics, that's where I spent my money. I went from the Radeon Pro 5500 XT with 8 gigabytes to the Radeon Pro 5700 XT with 16 gigabytes of GDDR6 memory. I like to use a lot of effects. I use Red Giant a lot, and I think this is gonna help me so the graphics can be smoother. And I left it at 512 gigabytes of SSD storage. I ordered a 2 terabyte SSD storage from Amazon for the Samsung T7. So that should be enough for me right now. And I already have a Samsung T5 with 500 gigabytes of SSD storage. So I kept that at that. And, I kept the regular Magic Mouse that comes with it. And everything came out for $2,549. So you're talking about a $450 difference, but I also saved me a lot of money in the SSD drive and on the memory, RAM for this iMac. Another thing about the new iMac is that they upgraded the camera from the 720p to a 1080p. So I am very excited to be using this iMac with this configuration so I can edit my videos faster. Now, when I get this iMac, I will do an unboxing for you guys, and then I will show you the difference between my 21.5 late 2013 iMac to my 2020 27-inch iMac, so you can see the difference between rendering time and exporting time in Premiere Pro. Also, how fast it uploads in Photoshop. This 21.5 late 2013, if every time I open Photoshop, it takes around 20 to 30 minutes for the program to boost up. So I'm very excited to have that other, iMac coming in that is gonna help me with this. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share with your friends. Also, leave your comments in the bottom and tell me, what do you think about the new iMac? Or is there a computer out there that fits your needs a little more? I like iMac because I love to use AirDrop, and I love to use my cell phone with those AirDrop, and I can use my cell phone and my computer and share files back to back. So, hey, it will be till next time. So, peace.